Hey, welcome back to Inspections Over Coffee's Frequently Asked Questions. I am Curt with Inspections Over Coffee. And again, I have been doing this a really long time. I have been in some kind of like sales, business ownership, basically since I was like 24. So that means I've been doing this way too long. And I'm going to try to make an effort to change what I think might be a paradigm that you have. Because, if you read Stephen Covey's Seven Habits of Highly Effective People, he talks about, um, beginning with the end in mind, and there's just some chats about a map in there, right? And so, like, if you have a map, you're in Chicago, you're trying to get around, you can't get around, you're like, well, let me change my attitude. Didn't fix it. Let me work harder. Didn't fix it. What else can we do that we might read in a self-help book? Let me stay super positive. Didn't fix it. What's the reality? Well, the reality is you have a map of Cleveland. And you're in Chicago. So no matter what positivity, attitude, action you take, it doesn't matter until you get the right map, okay? So I'm gonna give you the map that we follow on how we treat territories and basically our thoughts around abundance versus scarcity. So hopefully you'll go, oh yeah, I get it. Okay, so when people are looking at franchises, looking at starting a business, they've got this whole like scarcity mentality. Like if I lost that one job or I lost this or, listen, if you're doing things the right way, there's going to be abundance of jobs, abundance of realtors. In most normal major metros, there are thousands of houses that go under contract every single month. Now, as I make this video, it's obviously a little bit weird. We have like a lot of cities have like low inventory, but still inventory. You've seen the numbers that we do, and that's even with people waiving inspections to get contracts done, and with people like not having a ton of inventory. So there's not as many houses under contract every month as there normally would be. So I will compel you to live in a world of abundance. Where I am in Phoenix, we are setting up more than one franchise. This is done for many reasons, but it's also because I just want to prove the point. There's enough to go around. Maricopa County, which is where Phoenix is, has something like 40,000 realtors. First of all, I bet a solid 70% of them I don't even want to work with. They're probably not very good realtors. That's just the law of averages. So the way we set up these territories is that our goal is for as many inspections over coffee that we might put into an area. The goal is for them together to reach 10% of market share, okay? So I want you to think about this. If there's Denver and Phoenix are similar sized to like the number of contracts that houses that go under contract. And it's like on a typical month, you might not have 6,000 to 8,000 houses that go under contract every single month. Again, not 2022, but like historically. So if you had a company that had 10% of that, that's 600 to 800 inspections a month. Okay, so how many is that a week? That is like 1,600, that's like 150 to 200 inspections a week. A week! Do you know how many inspectors you have to deliver that? I mean, most inspectors can only do 10 a week. So now you're talking about like 15 to 20 full-time inspectors, full-time busy. That's a big company. There's not a lot of, there's probably 10 of those companies in the whole country, right? And then again, if you do the math on that, that's, if you add the ancillary services, you average $500-600 a job. Again, do the math. That's like $500,000 a month company, which is, what is that? $6 million, $6 million per year inspection company. When your average home inspector makes 50 grand. So trust me when I tell you, that's just 10%, 10% of the contracts. So trust me when I tell you, there's plenty to go around. And the market's always going to ebb and flow. You're going to have more people having inspections. At some point, the markets will go to being a seller inspection, and people have to clean their houses up before they sell them, and some positivity will come where instead of people just dropping off all their junk at the back door, we don't have like defined territories. Now, what that means is if you set up an inspection company in Orlando, Florida, you can't just arbitrarily set up another inspection company in Lakeland. That would be 50 miles apart, and you'd have to do a second franchise for that. That seems fair, right? Because you would want to have all separate books, all separate phone numbers, all separate everything. And the reason you want to have it, it's a little bit of a headache, but the reason you do that is because people in Lakeland have, they're calling 863 numbers. People in Orlando are calling 407 numbers. There's a whole bunch of marketing reasons behind it. You need different salespeople, different inspectors, all that kind of stuff. That being said, you have a realtor in Orlando and he or she says, I helped the client buy a house in Lakeland or a big commercial property. And then you're like, oh, I have a franchise and my franchise comes from Orlando. Guess what? Fine. Your realtor in Orlando that you met in Orlando takes you down to Lakeland, you do the job, and you're fine. Like, it's no big deal, right? You didn't take the job away from if there were a franchise in Lakeland, because they weren't going to call that person anyways. The relationship is with you, the franchise owner. So keep that in mind. Abundance, scarcity. So again, as a franchise company, our goal is to capture 10% market share. And we went over the numbers. You can see how difficult that is. Even our Denver business right now, it's probably like, as big as it is, it's probably only like 3.5% market share. So even after I sold the business in Orlando and kind of put all the systems in place, the Denver business is still only this much of the entire market share. So again, you can't, and here's the thing, there's some positivity. Like, we have a referral agreement with the newest franchisee in the Phoenix area. So if I'm overwhelmed and can't deliver all the work, I'm now able to shift work to that other person, and I'll still make money from the referral fee that we're going to get, and vice versa. As he's starting and he's a standalone, sole operator until he grows his business a little bigger, if he needs to take a vacation, a medical day, take his family to the doctor, he can go ahead and he can send us the business. And here's what's great. I know he's going to take great care of our clients. We're going to take great care of his clients, and nobody's going to know the difference, because at the end of the day, it's Starbucks of home inspections. Everybody gets the same experience. So, and then again, he wins, the business owner. He can take some time off, take a vacation, and not have stress and not just lose all his money. So that's how we treat territories. Think of territories like a license agreement. Like, once you're in that spot, you work that area. If your referrals take you out of that area, totally no problem. Just, we prefer that you not go work the other area unless you actually set up a franchise for that area. Last thing I want to talk about. We're not all the same. People might like me, people might not like me. If I go speak to 30 people and I go with you, whoever you are watching this, you have one kind of personality and I have another kind of personality. And even though I try to be a little bit of a chameleon when I'm dealing with people one-on-one, not everybody says, oh my God, Curt's the best guy. And some people are going to react a little bit positively or a little bit negatively to your personality. Maybe it's a little high energy. Maybe it's a little low energy. Maybe you talk a lot. Maybe you don't talk a lot. And all of these different things are going to have people gravitate to you and to me. So you might be a totally brand new person in the business, and I'm this person who sells franchise and been doing 15. When we're standing in front of a group of 30 realtors, some are going to gravitate to me and my personality and my energy, and some are going to gravitate to you and your energy. So we don't want to have like big beefs, like, and have big problems, but at the same time, there's enough to go around. Like, literally, you could speak at an office in a month and win over maybe 2, 3, 4 of the realtors, and maybe I come in 2 months later and I win over another 2, 3, 4 realtors, and they got my number and they got your number, and it's fine. We're all gonna win. And by the way, my showing up 3 months after you did, it just reinforces your message. I have a lot of preferred partnerships with agencies and offices that have gotten to know the brand, and you're gonna win because of that. Like, if anything, it would be me losing a little bit of business to this other franchisee or other franchisee. But everybody wins when the message is out there. Now, of course, it's my job to make sure that no one's harming the brand, no one's, and of course, those kinds of things would be addressed. So if somebody's making us look bad, getting bad reviews, not doing what they're supposed to do, there's a possibility, if they can't be corrected, that kind of a franchise would be terminated, because we're not going to have that. But that being said, the whole thing is built for all of us together to gather 10% market share in any major metro. So even if you said, hey, we're at 10%, guess what? Still 90% to go get, okay? So it's fine. Abundance, abundance, abundance. That's how we treat territories. So I look forward to continuing this franchise home inspection journey with you. Take care.